I wanted to make a quick video here about the ways that I, so far, on this latest batch, successfully controlled the mold that really just made the fodder just not worth doing. I'm still not sure it's worth doing because it takes so many hours a day. I'm not sure that the cattle are going to get benefits from it that justify hours a day, but the mold was just a pain. So what I've done is a couple of things. First, I've started putting a lot less seed in the trays, and I adjusted this roller that comes from Farmtek. I'm just looking for that, wherever that is, down to be as thin as possible. There it is, this thing right here. If you've got one of these rollers, you'll know that you can adjust it a little bit. And so it's just a little bit thinner, and I think that helps. Number two, I installed this wood stove temporarily, just took out a pane of glass and just ran it through. That helps increase the temperature and decrease the humidity a little bit. I'm not going to pretend that I have it completely under control in here because I don't. It's about 70 in here and about 55% humidity. If you look at that, this one over here says it's more like 70. There is a dehumidifier going in here, and you can see from the windows that there's some humidity. The third thing that I did was I started putting the seeds up on top that are now bathed quite a bit, and I'm going to turn this on briefly in a UVC light. I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to get burned. If you know about UVC, you'll get welder's flash from it. It can burn your eyes and your skin. And the top tray is always the new batch of seeds, so that UVC light is on to hopefully kill any mold spores. I do have quite a few fans going in here as well. I've turned some of them off just to make this video, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans going in here. That seems to help. And I am still bleaching the seeds a little bit, and I've also got the bag of seeds outside, and I am freezing the seeds before I put them in here, which I believe may slow down the growth of mold. Perhaps the most important thing that I've done is to make sure that I feed this out in no more than 7 days, because I found that if I let it sit more than 7, the mold really takes over. So doing all of those things, and also using copper fungicide a little bit when I need it. I think that the mold generally likes to sit at this end here, where it always stays a little bit damper, and so when I need to, I just give it a little spray here. I'm very careful to wash as much of the chaff and dirt off the seeds as I can, because I think a lot of the mold comes from that, and I'd like to think I'm physically removing mold spores by washing the seeds over and over again. So I did feed the cattle for the first time today with this mold-free. They love it. Again, I'm just not sure it's worth it. The loss of dry matter is pretty significant, and you're not turning a pound of food into 7 pounds of food. You're just not doing that. What you're doing is you're adding a lot of water, which makes the barley more digestible, so the cattle might get more out of it. But if you got hours a day to spend on it, it might be worth it. Anyways, those are the steps I took to control mold, and so far so good. So I will turn the fans back on and the UVC light back on, and we'll keep going here.